All right, guys, I'm Calabash Digger. I'm an independent reviewer and tester of metal detectors. And here is the pro tip of the day. If you are wanting an objective view or review of a metal detector, then don't go to that company's Facebook page and ask for information and expect to get an objective review, the pros and the cons, because all of the company's Facebook pages are censored. Welcome to Calabash Digger Adventures, where metal detectors get tested and adventure never stops. I compare the top detectors in real world conditions. No fluff, just hard hitting depth, separation, and performance testing. Land hunts, relic recoveries, and full-on scuba diving treasure hunts. This channel is all about showing gear and finding history. Whether you're looking for your next detector or just love the hunt, you're in the right place. Subscribe for weekly comparison videos, field tests, and hardcore detecting adventures, whether it's on land or underwater. Let's get out there, guys, and dig deep, hunt hard, and have fun. All right, guys, what's up? Let's get these headphones off. My streaming service, I'm getting some echo back through my headphones when I talk, so we've got to adjust that. It's kind of giving me a headache, so I'm going to run it without headphones on, and when I need to hear something, I'll put them back on. Technical difficulties on a live stream, nothing like it. So many things that can go wrong. There's not an edit button either, but I love doing live streams. It's been a while, guys. We're here tonight. We're going to talk about the Legend 2, when I'm going to be testing it. We're going to talk about the new Minelab Vanquish series and get your thoughts on that. We'll go over to Ryan's site and we'll look at Ryan's site for the comparison of what is actually on the Vanquish series. And I'm going to go ahead and give Ryan a shout out. The new detectors that we're talking about are coming out. There'll be pre-orders, but you can give this guy a call, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you about him just real quick. He takes none of your money until your product is ready to be shipped, whether it's Minelab, Garrett, Nokta, XP. He offers a 60-day money-back return policy, and he pays return shipping back to him. Who does that? The answer to that is nobody. Go look at his Google reviews. Top-notch guy to deal with. So if you're interested in any machine from any manufacturer, give him a call. Best guy to deal with. Just a great, great guy. Can't say enough good things about him. And he's been sponsoring my channel for a few years now. Okay, with that being said, let's do some shout outs. Let's dive into the Legend 2. Let me give you the nitty gritty details that I have, which are limited at this point, but it's not going to be very, well, we'll get into that in a minute. So let's back up here, guys. Are you live? Yes. Oops. Yep. Ring finder, buzz saw. I'm here, kicked back in my recliner, waiting on the no BS test. We're gonna get around to that. And Brian, what's up, man? Welcome from Canada. Jason, what's going on? And great to see the new Nokta. Yes, man. What's going on, Zealand Finder? Let's see here. I'm just going to go through the comments. What's up, Lance? It's hard to do, man. Did you guys see Quarter Hoarder's live stream last night on the launch of the Legend 2? Very good live stream. A lot of folks in there, man. And I think I heard him say in the live stream, his moderator was not there, and he was managing the comments, and he had like almost 800 people in there. The comments was going so fast at one time I couldn't even read them. He had to slow them down, but very good live stream, real lighthearted live stream. D-Lick was on, Mark from Nokta was on, Doug was on, and Jason was running the live stream, Quarter Hoarder. So very, very good setup he had over there, man. I stayed the whole time and listened and watched. But my channel is a little bit different than his, as you guys know. He's got a great, awesome channel, man. A very, very educational, entertaining channel. I do a little bit of that too, but I'm more into this technical aspect of metal detectors, and we're kind of dive into that tonight. So What's up, Lance? What's going on, Mark? Well, there's the guy from, I believe that's the guy from Nokta right there. You guys see him? He had to come in here and see what we were doing, guys. Well, we're fixing to test your detector, man. We're fixing to get down to the nuts and bolts of it and see what it's all about, the Legend 2. So, West Coast Detect, what's going on, my brother? Keep them straight. Don't let them get out of line. If they get out of line, hit the ban button. What's up, Zach? Still there? Mikey, Retrofan, David, Troy. Anyone else still waiting on the HF? Yeah, I think that there's still people waiting on the HF2 coil. Now, I was told the other day, update, that coil had a problem with the battery leaking, with the batteries leaking. And I was told the other day that I was being sent from Ryan. He actually sent them out, I guess, to the people that bought the coil. It's an O-ring, a gasket, and some kind of gasket with instructions how to install it on your coil to keep the battery from leaking. So, Northwest Wisconsin, we're going to talk about that coil. I'm going to write that down too because this is one of my complaints about that coil. In Northwest Wisconsin, got a coil from Ryan that was a return, and I'm going to share his experience. If you guys don't, please don't let me forget to share that because it kind of went into what I was griping about. You guys know we get down to the nitty-gritty here, and it doesn't matter what manufacturer it is. We're going to give you the pros and the cons, and we're going to talk about a con of that coil. And I hate to do that to you, Retrofan. It's according to what you're doing with it, but we'll talk about it. What's going on, Steven? What's going on, Marco? Detector Steve. Is the Legend outperformed the Legend? Then it'll just be, well, we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. And yeah, Ryan's a stand-up guy, Buzz. Carrie, what's going on? Robert. Buzz, what's up, Digging Daryl? I received the, well, can you share your experience with it, Digging Daryl? Can you type that in the comment section? Good, bad, ugly, good, great, you know, whatever that may be. And everything in between. Okay, Zealander. Yep, that's him. That's the Nokta guy right there, man. We got a guy in here looking at us, man. He's a great guy. I talked to him on the phone, and tell you something about Nokta. Out of dealing with all the brands, Nokta has my favorite reps. And I feel like, in my opinion, they're the straightest reps with me. If I ask them something, they'll tell me something, and we've built a good relationship to where they trust me, you know, and I trust them, and it's a very good relationship, and it's nice for me to have that connection because it's good for you guys because we basically have an inside source on the metal detector manufacturer community, you know, so we're getting a little bit of inside information over here on this channel. But just a great guy. I've talked to him a lot, and I've talked to him a lot over the last, you know, week about this machine. And but they are my favorite reps. I watched that live stream last night, lighthearted, hanging out. I mean, it's people I would sit down and hang out with, and you know, eat a steak with, or if they're vegetarians or whatever, you know what I mean, and have a conversation with and enjoy it. Not like some uptight people I've dealt with, but we ain't gonna get into that. The Berkshires, what's up, man? Burger and a beer, watching Calabash Life. Life is good, yeah, it is. Ohio Fred and Ring Finder. I'm waiting to use the new HF coil and couple. Well, please keep us in the loop of how that does. Old timer, what's going on? Ryan's great, man. New machines coming. Yes, they are, and we're going to talk about it. So we're going to dive into the Legend 2 first. And here's the deal with the Legend 2. And we're going to talk about West Coast Detect. New detectors like the Deus. Can the XP Deus 1 stand up to the newer detectors like? No, Jerome, it can't. I don't even own a Deus 1 anymore because it's outdated. Nokta's triple score beats the Deus 1 in everything that I know of, maybe except with the HF coil on the Deus 1 in the most extreme, but I'm not even sure about that because of the higher frequency that the Nokta triple score is running. So I quit showing the Deus 1 a long time ago because I knew, you know, when the 800 come out, the Deus 1 had an advantage over the 800 only in iron unmasking. And then the other detectors come out and they've kind of advanced them further. And I'm just, sorry to say the Deus One, man, I found a lot of good stuff with that. But in this day and age, the cheaper frequency, well, mid-range detectors like the Triple Score, the Elite, the Legend, in my opinion, beat the Deus One. Not only for performance, but also versatility. You can use it on the beach. They're waterproof. Why, and I mean, the Deus One was legendary in its time. Don't get me wrong. And you could still go to a relic site and find stuff for a Deus One. So, but that's just my opinion on that. So I don't show it anymore. I feel like that it's kind of like an AT Pro, AT Max. It had its time, like the AT Pro was legendary in its time. And then it's just been, technology has just moved forward. So let's see here. What's up, Peppers? Renee, what's going on? And let's see here, Joe, master detector teacher. I'm just a wannabe, Joe. So, we're going to get to it. Let me just roll down here. I just ran Triple Score and WS6 Master today. Yeah, Triple Score, man. Best bang for the buck on the market. You guys have been hearing me say this since it come out. You get the most stuff with it. It's got features on it. Is it the highest performing? No, but how far is it behind the highest performing? Not the gap that you would think price to performance ratio. So very, very solid detector to get into metal detecting with. But let's talk about the Legend 2. That's why everybody's here. The new Minelab Vanquish, and we'll get into that, and I'll tell you kind of where I'm at with that, and where I'm at just with the industry as a whole on detector models, and we'll get into all of that. But the Legend 2 is Nokta's, according to DLIC last night, that is their prime time, prime metal detector. It's their top of the line metal detector at this current time. But I have, and we'll see how all that goes in the next few years. Nokta's on the move, if you guys can't tell. They're producing detectors at a pretty fast pace, and I actually like that. I like seeing a new detector every few years because I like to mess with them and tinker with them and see where the industry's going. And this Legend 2, we're going to have to get down to the nuts and bolts of it. Let me show an image of it, guys. Let me show an image of the screen right here, if I can find it. I'll show it the screen versus the regular Legend, and you see the Nokta Legend 2 on that. And Quarter Hoarders went over all of this last night, so I'm not going to stay on it a whole long time, but if you look at the detector, and I loaded up those images, and I didn't even load up an image, well, hold on, of the actual machine. Let's see how this does. Bam! There you go. Instant picture, man. There is the Nokta Legend 2. So this is the American Digger magazine that just come out. And let me turn it right there. That's it. Look at it, man. They changed the whole design of it. They put that straight shaft on it. Carbon fiber. Look at that new coil design down there. It looks a lot different, right, guys? And then this machine is coming with just the Pro Pack. And I think that's a very good idea. I think that we're getting too many models and stuff, and it becomes confusing to the purchaser, and they said that Nokta is actually going to lower their SKUs down. They're not going to sell all the variations like of the Legend, so they're going to shrink it, and we see Minelab increasing theirs, and we're going to get into that in just a few minutes. But that is the Legend 2, and it has enhanced audio. Oh, and I'm sure that people that don't know my channel are like, oh, well, where is the Legend 2? He just put that in the title for clickbait. I'm an official tester for Nokta. Wait a minute, let me rephrase that. I am an independent tester, and I don't work for any company. I don't sign any NDAs. I've built a reputation on YouTube that these companies trust me without NDAs, and they send me their products because they know that I'm honest and I'm fair and I'm reliable to run their machines through the paces, find the bugs, and show it for what it is. So, we've been doing this for some years now. I have a working knowledge. You guys that are here already know this, but you guys that have just come here and never seen my channel before, I have a working knowledge and a working relationship with the major manufacturers in the world. I did have one with Minelab too. I found that problem with the iron, and they kind of snub their nose at me nowadays. So, with that being said, snooty Minelab. But hey, it is what it is. So there's got to be somebody in the metal detecting community that's, look, each company and all companies, and we're going to talk about companies just for a minute, all have their guys. Well, those guys that are part of that marketing, you know, they can't show you cons. And that's every company. And that's not a knock. That's just part of being in with a company. But here, we're not, and I am dog sitting, and if they come up, I'm going to have to pause just for a minute. Hold on, it's my wife. Give me just a second, and let me pause my mic. Give me a second. Sorry about that, guys. The realities of live streams. So anyway, there's got to be someone independent, and Iffy Signals is an independent tester too. But there has to be somebody, in my opinion, we are that niche. That is what I do. You know, I'm not going to speak for him, speak out of turn. You know, I'm not going to speak about what he does. I'm going to speak about what I do. But we do kind of similar things. So with that being said, we're going to get the Legend. We're going to figure out how it fits. Deelick said last night on Jason's or Quarter Hoarder's live stream that she felt like the price would be $9.99. Here's a list of the enhancements. Enhanced audio, they added 3 tones. More power, easier to use, deeper, more stability, 99 VDI. Well, with that being said, I think that I will have my machine middle of next week, latter part of next week. Nobody has received a fully, I'm not going to say functional, but a final version detector to test. So I will be, if you will get one, well, I might not have said that, but I will have mine, and we'll be testing them. And I will get videos up ASAP, and we will run these claims down. You guys already know what the deal is. So we're going to run the claims down. We will compare it to the Legend 1. That is the starting place for me. I want to look at the Legend 1. I want to take the Legend 2, and I want to see what Nokta users or potential Nokta customers are getting for the Legend 2, which is at this time a subject to change. She said she thinks that was going to be the price, but for that price difference, which is around $400. We see the cosmetic differences. We see the menu screen being bigger. They have it listed as bigger, easier to use, easier to navigate, more stability, more power, and the 99 VDI scale, that will probably be welcomed amongst Nokta users a lot. I really like a 99 VDI scale. And Nokta has always provided a value performance-wise with this Legend that come out, the triple score, the double score, very, very good bangs for the buck for performance value. Now going up into this higher price range, we're going to take a look. We're going to shake it down. We're going to give the pros and we're going to give the cons. And, you know, like I said, I have a good relationship with them, and we're going to see how it goes. And we will be the first. I don't want to say I because I know another tester. I done named him anyway. We'll be the first in the United States to actually be putting it through its paces. So I hope to take it to the beach. Oh yeah, and Mark just brought up something. There's 19 channels of noise cancel or frequency shift on the machine now, which will give it more channels to choose from to mitigate EMI. So that is going to be another feature too that we need to, and it weighs 2.6 pounds. Thank you guys. You guys are correcting me. You guys can see I've been dog sitting a few days and I'm a little bit behind the curve. 50% more power. Well, you know what's funny about that? Let's talk about that, Finders Keepers. XP told me the same thing about their single frequency on the Deus 2. And as you guys know that run a Deus 2, when you're in a high EMI area and the machine won't calm down, you can put it in a single frequency and the EMI is almost negated. I mean, it's wild how good that thing is in single. But they told me that in the single frequency program, 50% more power. So take away from that what you want. All I can tell you is I can see the results. Who let the dogs out? Yeah, let me go back up and see. Let's see here, right here. Let's see right here. Let me go back up and see what everybody says. Okay, well, dang, man. Well, wait a minute, man. I got comments coming in. You guys bear with me just a minute. I'm a one-man show over here. Okay, let's see here. Ran the triple score. That's where I start with the Coil up in Virginia. And we're going to talk just a minute. We're going to jump off. So next week, I'm hoping to have the Legend 2. The information will come out here first. So stay tuned for that. We will start posting videos on it immediately. I mean, I can't do head-to-heads against other manufacturers until it is finalized. So basically, I'll start comparing it to the Nokta line. We'll see how it runs on the beach. We'll see the depth on the beach. We'll see iron unmasking. We'll see how it runs in the heavy iron. We might even take it to the local park, do a little coin shooting. We'll see how the coin VDIs are on the 99 scale. We'll see how stable the ID is at depth. We'll see how deep it is because it is touting more power, more stability. We'll test it out here in my test garden, which you guys know is ate up with EMI, and we'll look at the Legend 1, Legend 2. We're going to run through it. You guys know how we do it here, so we're going to get down to the nuts and bolts, and we're going to get down, and I'm going to show you guys the real deal. So it looks good. I mean, you guys see it. The build of it looks good. I mean, that looks good. But I can't speak to the performance yet, but that's coming very soon. And I do believe in my mind or recollect that she said that it will come with a 9-inch coil too. So we will get to that. Let's see right here. The XP with the 3-point. We got to talk about XP just for a minute. I noticed on the XP with the 3-point, the VDI are still a little off. I found pennies yesterday in the 90s. You know, and it was 83. It was like the swap numbers. That I have not tested that. So you guys know that watch my channel. I've been diving up until this point a lot. And the 3.1, I did not use it underwater because I like 2.0. I used one of the beta versions underwater in heavy iron, and it just changed the way the machine acted, and I didn't like it. So I have not tested 3.1 a lot. I've looked at it out in the garden a little bit. I haven't been out in the field with it. I haven't used it underwater. So whatever you guys report to me, I'll make a note of IDs. So Michigan, detecting Northwest Wisconsin. Let's talk about that before we get to the Vanquish real quick. So he got an HF2 coil, and we had really high hopes. And I complained about this to XP earlier about the VDIs on that coil. When you look at the Minelab Manicore M8 coil or the Equinox coil, the IDs or the Vanquish coils are right. So you go over coins, and no matter what program in, the IDs maintain. Well, with the Deus 2, when you shift up into the highest frequencies, then the numbers jump up and they're elevated. So it does much like the Deus 1, and it casts everything, junk, coins, and all, up higher. And Detecting Northwest Wisconsin used it some. He was very, very eager to get the coil. He's thorough with the metal detector. I know him, and it mirrored exactly what I complained about. He took it to street tear-outs up where he lives, and there's old coins there, but there's modern trash, there's iron, there's nails, and he said it was just calling the trash the same thing as the coins, pushing the pennies up, and he put it on eBay. So that's that. I've took it hunting, relic hunting. What do I think about it? I prefer my 9-inch coil. So with that being said, you guys will have to judge it. I know that they improved it on the gold. They made some improvements on it. They improved the VDI even to what it was, but it's still not, it should function just like the black coils on VDIs. And I almost was talking with a sharpshooter or somebody else that he wished they would have put a separate program in, just like the big Extreme Hunter. You kick into it, it goes to a whole separate deal. I wish they had done that with the HF2 coil and not changed the parameters on the coils or, you know, any of that stuff. Just left it like 2.1, 2.0. if you put a section over here for the HF2 coil, then it doesn't change the behavior of the machine any. In 2.0, you get an HF2 coil, you've got its own slot. You see what I'm saying? So it would keep from having to change the software to get the HF2 coil to run correctly. It'd have its own little space. And I wish they'd have done that, and I thought that was a very good idea he come up with. Some silver beeps low on all machines, could even be down average by iron. Oh yeah, no doubt. It's no doubt, yeah. I like the coil design. Yeah, I like to look at. I do too. Going to be double D. Let's see here. Minelab is snobby. They are, man. In my opinion, they make good machines. I've got an Equinox 900 over here, and to be honest, at the end of the day, their releases have been really good. They probably have the best record on releases and being bug-free out of all the manufacturers. But they do have the most money, I would imagine. So maybe it has bigger icons. They seem a little small on the Legend. They make some killer machines, but let's be real. Let's see here. Troy, let's see who let the dogs out. Let me go down through here. I'm getting a little bit behind, guys. I like the round coil. Yes, I do too. I do too. I like that. It's right where the day is 2 in the manicore, so hopefully the machine is worth its weight. Yes. 50 amp battery. This is the guy Mark from Nokta, Legend. So it has a bigger battery capacity. You'll get more run time on it. That's interesting. 2D screen for that price point. You know, let's see where Nokta goes in the next year or two. You know, let's see where they go. You know, let's keep an eye on that and see where they go as far as machines go. The exact same moment as Cody with a, you know, Rick, I don't know about that. Now Mark's in here, maybe he can answer. I'm not down through the comments. Maybe I'm running way behind you guys. But for finding rings, it's like, okay, so with 11-inch, it's lighter. So it is lighter than the Legend 1. 92 detectors in the chat. Hit the like button. Oh yeah, good deal. Is doing pre-order for the. Is it doing a pre-order for the call Ryan, man? I don't think that he's officially, well, Ryan doesn't do pre-sales. He does a pre-order, takes your name, takes this, and he has a thing, and he doesn't take your money until your machine is being shipped. And then you get a 60-day return policy, and he pays the return shipping, and I think that sets him apart. And if you call him with a problem or need to talk, or he needs information, or you need information, he'll call me. We'll talk. He said, "I got a customer asking me about this. What do you think?" And we'll 2 heads is better than one, and we'll talk about it. And you'll get back. He's just a good guy to deal with. You want a solid metal detector dealer? He's one of the best, or the best that I know of. Well, what is the frequency numbers? They're the same as the Legend 1. We are so spoiled these days with all our choices. Yes, let's talk about that for a minute. Finders keepers. I'm kind of getting, to be honest with you, with all these manufacturers, and we're going to go ahead and look at the Minelab because I know that some people got in here for that. Let me click the screen over here, but well, let's just look at it and then we'll come back to it. So I'm going to take us over to Ryan's site here, and we can see the Vanquish that they come up with. What do you guys think about that design? It's kind of different looking, right? I don't really know what to think about it. So if you guys are interested in a Vanquish, give Ryan a call. If you're interested in the Legend, give him a call. But they're basically, it's a 560, and he told me he had something on his site for a blog, and I don't see the blog, but it shows the difference. And what I seen is the 560 comes with 5 tones. It has 30 discrimination segments, but it has 4 levels of iron bias, and if I'm thinking correctly, the 540 had 2, a high and a low, right? I think that's what it had, a high and a low. So it's got more iron bias settings on it, but it's pretty simple detector. There it is right there, guys. You can see the layout of it. It's a simplified detector. You know, that's what they're marketing it as, and we know that the Vanquish was a solid performer. But we're getting into this point, and I think the price was 499 euros. So what is that, $500 or something in the United States? We're getting into this thing, iron bias, 4 levels, depth indicator 5, tones is 5 tones on the 560. I believe it's 3 tones on the 460, etc., etc. It has vibration, a flashlight, display backlight, and it comes with 12 by 9 and Bluetooth earbuds. So it does come with another coil too. What is a smaller coil? 5 by 8. And you know, we're getting to this point, and I said this the other day, we're getting to this point where if you were a consumer, what machine do you buy? I mean, you go to Minelab, you look, they got an Xterra, they got a 360 now, they got Xterra Pro, 360, 460, 560, Elite. And I've been, you know, when I seen it, the first thing that I said, okay, that's great, it's a Vanquish. There was a lot of people that liked the Vanquish, but what would a Vanquish owner upgrade to that detector for? 4 levels of iron bias, 5 tones of earbuds? I don't know. But you get all these detectors jammed out there, and I'm getting analysis paralysis. And Nokta's got a lot too, but they're shrinking their SKU down a little bit. I think they've learned something for that about having just too many. And it's like analysis paralysis. I mean, for the guy getting in the hobby, it kind of reminds me of some years ago when I did a lot of bass fishing, and I went in Bass Pro Shop and I was just looking for some plastic worms, and I started looking at all these colors and flakes, and dude, I was standing there and my wife's like, what are you doing? I was like, there's too much. I was like, I just cannot, I got analysis paralysis. So, you know, one shade of this and one shade of that, and that's how we're kind of getting with multi. This one's a shade better. I'm talking about increments, you know, like this up to scale, just increments. And, you know, will it perform? I'm sure. It's a Minelab. Will it be stable? Yes, they got multi-IQ technology. It's a proven performer. That's beside the point. But what do you guys think about a detector at $400-something that only has 1 set of tones, or even a 300? My problem with that was, and I made this argument, I was like, well, you sell the Xterra Pro at $329 or whatever it is, and it has all the tone segments on it. So, you know, but there'll be people out there that love the Vanquish series, and, you know, if you want one, call Ryan. But the detector that excites me more is the Nokta Legend 2. I like dealing with the more technical parts, and this is a question, guys. Let me get down through the comments, and let me just put a mark right here so I'll remember to ask this question. Well, let me just ask it before I go through the comments. Instead of making all of these like lower tier detectors, I get it, you got to have them because some you got to have them because some people are only going to put so much money in the hobby. Why not market more towards, or educate the community where, or, you know, market your higher detectors like your triple score, your elite, market it as, you know what, guys, this detector gives you room to grow, but if you want a simple detector, you mash the power button, and Nokta has provided you with a preset program, and you don't have to change anything. And I hear this argument all the time, I don't want to change all those settings. I've heard that many, many times, and I was thinking about it today, and I'm like, well, dude, you don't have to change nothing. You want a simple detector? Take the triple score, cut it on. It's got a preset program. You could do it even with more expensive models. You could do it with the Legend, the Nokta Legend 2, the Deus, the Manicore, the Equinox. You've got preset programs. Why do you think because there's settings there you got to change them? Or, you know what I'm saying? And if you compare a Vanquish that's locked in one set of places, you know, settings, or has no settings, or is marketed as simplified, we'll just compare it to a preset program. Just don't change the settings. You guys see where I'm going with that? Why not just put that more out there in the marketing part? Look, guys, this is a simple detector. You don't want to change anything? Right here. Just use a preset program. Instead of having to buy, well, maybe that's by design. Then when you get tired of that one, you have to buy another one. So, you know, you guys think about it. So, just thinking out loud. Update the Legend with a phone is also a big plus. Yeah, that'll be really cool. That'll be cool as well, up in the 90s. Yeah, I've seen that on the beach some. I ready to sell my Legend now. I got you, man. What's going on, Gary? What's going on, Gary? Yeah, I like did Nokta talk to you testers before creating a new detector, or do they build the detector and you get guys test and give feedback? Digging Daryl, no. And I think that's and it's not just Nokta. It's not just Nokta. I could have saved this company right here embarrassment, in my opinion. It's not Nokta, it's XP. Did XP talk to us about the HF2 coil? No. Does Minelab talk to us? No. Did this company right here talk to me or anybody I know about designing this metal detector? Well, I could have given them, this right here would have never hit the market if I had talked to them. I could have talked to them for 5 minutes and improved this design 1,000-fold of what it is. I would have told them, hold on one second, guys. Did they come get him? Did they come get him? Okay, well, you're on YouTube. Okay, cool deal. All right, I love you. So I could have saved them, but Nokta has, proven track record. But no, the answer to that is a short no. And I think companies should contact us pre-design or while in the design process, but we don't have that, So I don't know. I think that it should. I'll give you one. Sharpshooter come up with something the other day, and I thought it was ingenious. And he's like, well, why doesn't companies put this on a machine? So you got a machine, and you could have the feature enabled or disabled. But you cut the machine on, and it goes park mode, field mode, relic mode, prospecting mode. You go down to the icons, recovery speed, iron bias. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's ingenious. I think that they should have that. I think we should have a detector that does that. I know that, sometimes these little icons, especially with me, I'm out metal detecting, I'm not wearing my glasses all the time, and sometimes the screens are harder to see, and if it actually spoke to me in the headphones, I could just kind of do it with, without seeing it. I mean, it doesn't even have to be too technical. Sensitivity, you know what I mean? Tones, 5 tones, pitch tones. I mean, I think that's really a good idea. And if a company had contacted any of these companies, that could have been on a detector. So let me go down through here, Digging Daryl. So yes, Cody, yeah. With the new work with the triple score, I don't know the answer to that. If Mark's still in here, maybe he can answer that. I use the 3.1 regular 11.9. The numbers are definitely off. More than 2. I used to be able to somewhat know what I was digging. Yep. Without experience that underwater, you're hired. I don't know what that one's about. Did I miss any info on the Nokta Legend 2? I will have it next week, Thomas, hopefully, and we will get down to the nitty-gritty on it, and we'll start running it through its paces. We'll start looking for bugs. And that's the process. I spent 3 hours on the phone with Sharpshooter the other day, just going through the menu system settings and checking this and that on the Vortex. Did we find some stuff? Yeah. So it works, but it takes time. I don't know of any reason to update if you're not running the HF2 coil. What's up, Relic Rat? Here, Lake Erie. Not Minelab. The best improvement I see is and the buttons are easier to see. It's kind of complex and hard to navigate. Is the menu? They say it's easier to use. That is one of the selling points, and we'll give it a rate, and we'll see how much easier it is to use. Yes, you can go back down to 2.0. What's going on, Rocky Mountain Prospector? Half Vanquish, half Equinox looks like. Yeah, it kind of does look like that, Stephen. It looks, I think that, and this is just my opinion, that technology is basically, they've just trickled it all the way down. Much like this camera that I'm filming on. Camera companies do that too. They trickle their technology down to their low-end cameras, and then they come out with something else that's, the greater and better and all that good stuff. Budget Xterra Pro, I don't know. Does the new Legend have lighted up keys? Yes, it does, Troy. It does. Okay, sorry about that, guys. You probably can see it all, and I'm probably just re-answering questions that Mark's already answered for you guys. How do you think the 560 would? I think, David, at the end of the day, it'll be short because of the recovery speed settings on the Elite. If you're doing unmasking, depth could be not as good because you could lower the Elite recovery speed way down. These are all just things that I'm thinking out loud, just my opinion. I think that it'll be short somewhat. Maybe not a whole lot. When I say short, I mean it might not be a lot, but I'm sure that there'll be some differences there. Where does that leave the Xterra Elite? They almost identical. I don't know, Steve. It's a good question. 2 to 3. I have 9. You're an addict, Ohio. You need to go to a meeting, man. 2 to 3 coils for each. I don't know, finders keepers. That was my exact thing that I was saying a while ago. I don't know. We got too many. We've got, let me just see what I can come up with. Okay. For Nokta, we've got, let me see if I can remember it off my head. We've got the Findex, and I'm not starting with the ones, Findex, Simplex, I'm just going to say Simplex Ultra, Findex, Simplex Ultra, Score, Double Score, Triple Score, Legend, and the Legend 2. Did I miss any in the lower end? I don't know. Then we've got, for Minelab, we've got the Voyager, we've got the Xterra Pro, we've got Vanquish 340, 440, 540, 360, 460, 560, Elite Expedition Pro Pack, Equinox 600, Equinox 700, Equinox 800, Equinox 900, Manicore. Did I get them all? Did I win a prize? XP, DS2, WS6 Master. Garrett, well, we'll just go with this. Okay, sure does. Looks, yeah, it does look good. Does not the Legend 2 function better than the Minelab Manicore? I don't know. I don't have it. But I say that, you know, the price point, the Manicore costs more. So if the Legend is a little bit, you know, not, you know, I don't have it. So I don't know. We'll see how close it is. You know, we'll see how close it is. When we get it, we'll check it out. The Vanquish seems unneeded when you have, that's kind of what I was thinking, Kevin. I was like, and then I made this video, and I mean, I put a catchy title in it. Did Minelab make a mistake? They only had 5 tones and 3 tones on the machine. And I'm like, in 2025, I mean, my point being, and I don't know how many people, well, we still got a few people in here. My point is this, for the new people getting into the hobby, you may look at a machine, and if you only got a certain amount to get into the hobby, I totally understand. But it's something like a triple score, and this is just my take on it, and they've got cheaper machines at Nokta, or Minelab. You can look at their products too. But my thing is come into, and this is, I guess it's so hard for me to go back and remember when I knew nothing, because I bought an Ace 150 to start out with. That was my first metal detector, you know what I mean? And I'm one of these guys, and this is no crap. About 3 days using it, I'm like, nah, I need something a little more than this. This ain't cutting it. I was watching YouTube and I was ingesting. You guys can tell I'm impulsive, you know, and when I get on something, I'm on it. So I bought a 250, and then it wasn't 2 weeks, I found a silver seated quarter up at the old house, and it was a Barber, man. I mean, it was immaculate. I rode home, I was like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? I was riding my bike. I was exercising. I was riding my bike around town, going into all these spots that I had permission for, you know, metal detecting. And long story short, I bumped up the AT Pro. Wasn't long, didn't keep it long. I mean, I metal detected with a good bit, but less than a year, and I moved on to the DS1. But my thing about people getting into the hobby and beginning is now you can buy a machine where you don't have to do that. So Ace 150, we guys know. I mean, that's much like an Amazon detector. The detectors that Nokta has, like on Amazon now, is way more. I mean, it's way better than what I started out with, as far as. But it's still not a triple score or something like that. But my whole point is this right here. Let me just try to bring it home real quick. Is that you can buy like a triple score. It comes with everything you need except a shovel. Yep, it's $499. I think some places it's $479. But you can grow into that machine. If you need simple, it's just like a Amazon detector. You cut it on, you set it in a preset, you go metal detect. What's the difference? That's kind of what I was getting at earlier when looking at these detectors. Well, you say, well, if your budget allows you to do this, or you think that you're one of these people that picks something up, you drop it 2 weeks later, then you may not want to do this. But if this is something that you think, or you're kind of sure that you're going to stay in, then you buy a detector in that range and you can grow into it. You can learn into it. You can grow in it. You know what? To me, I'm one of these people, that keeps the hobby more interesting. I buy a simple machine with no settings, I will have that thing tossed in the corner, retired very quickly, because it bores me after a while. I like to fiddle. I like to know, you know what I'm saying? It keeps me engaged because I can go further with the machine. Does that make sense? Anyway, I'm rambling on, so let me get back over here. Oversaturated market. The quick menu sounds interesting. Manicore, DS2, Legend, Explorer. Yeah, Kevin, Shadow 5. Yeah, and the Exterior Elite Pro. So it sounds like I'll have the Legend 2 also. Sounds like me. Is the ease of menu? Yes, they do have. The Manicore has the best menu layout made to this day, in my opinion. That was well engineered and well thought out, and give the people at Minelab credit for that. I do like the new Vanquish 60 series design much better than the 40 series. Not a fan of the battery location on the new. I wonder how that will feel in your hand with the battery being right there. Why all have multi-frequency have same frequency? I think that's, well, here's the deal with that. Maybe that's where the benefit is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's where the companies have found the most return for the, you see what I'm saying? Maybe there's no need to do what XP did with the white coil and run it up to 120 kilohertz, because I have seen absolutely nothing that does over the 88 kilohertz. Actually, the 88 kilohertz hits the goal better that I've seen. So the current is a solid machine. Yeah, it's a well-built machine too. You could beat somebody over the head or hit a rattlesnake with it if you had to. It's a well-built machine. Have been able to get our hands on a Quest. Why, I don't know. I heard that Quest was coming this way, but I don't know. Coins that I often can't lock onto with my Manicore and DS2. You need to design your own metal detector. I hit the lottery. I'm gonna tell the companies right now, don't let me hit $500 million or $1 billion on the lottery, because I'm gonna build the baddest metal detecting company that's ever been. And nope, I ain't no engineer. I'm not smart enough to be an engineer, but I'm smart enough to hire some good engineers. And I'm a good enough detector, and I got the finger on the pulse of the community of what we want and which way. We'll have one with AI in it. We'll have a non-AI version and an AI version. I'm just messing around. But yeah, we would have yeah. Hey, I appreciate it, Swampy. What machine does your son use? I don't know who he's talking to. Iron bias 1, press 1 for yes, press no, press 2 for no. That's actually good. Yeah, it's actually worth it. I don't know. That fly rot, we're going to have to get down to the bottom of that, and that's what we do here. Not only are we going to test it for Nokta, and find the bugs and see what we can do, to help them have a great product at public release and bug-free product at public release. But you guys know at the end of the day, yes, I have a relationship with these companies, but you guys know from my track record and what has been shown on this channel, I am about the consumer. And it wasn't long ago I had somebody attack me about that and say, Calabash is not for the consumer. Okay. And I'm almost like, dude, have you watched my channel for the last 6 years and what I've showed and the improvements and what's happened? And yeah, okay. You just don't like me. I get it. But I'm all about the consumer. You guys know it that follow me. You guys know what I show. And, I can be a company's worst nightmare because, it's like that vortex. I mean, what did I say before it even hit the market? I looked at the list of, you guys seen the story unfold. You see where it's at today. you know, and, you know, it just is what it is. But the deal is this right here. In this day and age, a release must be solid from a manufacturer. If it is not, it will get exposed and called out on social media, and that's not my fault. That's just how it goes. So let's get the Legend ready for public release, and then we will run it fly rock through its paces, and we will see where it stands up to the other detectors in the performance upgrades and how it fits the price point. See, what's up, Steven? Let me see here. Sorry, man, I can't remember your name. Let's see here, Steven. Anyway, face purple, weird guy. Okay. Rather than producing a new Vanquish range, they could have released an Elite Light without a single frequency and a few less functions. That's true, Bob. That is very true. That is very true. Let's see here. I appreciate the money, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, our first text offer, which are a joke. But I'll let you have that one, Finders Keepers. Appreciate it, Thomas. I appreciate it a lot. Appreciate it a lot. See, guys, we got people still in here. Well, we'll go back and rehash for the ones that just joined. Let me get to the end of the comments, an update on the tone. I hope so. I actually went around and posted in a few places. Minelab, add the tones. Because right out of the gate, I'm going to tell you, that's going to be a knock. I don't even have to have the machine. It's much like some of that stuff on that Vortex. That's a knock. Not having the tone options is a knock. And especially when your cheaper machine does have tone options. But I get it. You don't want that machine to compete with your Elite, but that's what happens when you produce too many machines, in my opinion. You know, so definitely, let's see here. What's up, Team Lynch? Poor dog have a bun in his hair. Don't let my wife see you saying that, Kevin, because she'll tell me to hit the ban button on your butt. She puts a bun in that dog's hair. Yeah. No, honey, he didn't say that. Slash. No, he's sleeping. I'm not going to wake him up or I'd show you guys. It's, you know. Let's see here. Anyway, let me get down through here. That large aperture makes Slash like a hellhound back there. Yeah, doesn't it? He's a big dog. So that's the single frequencies for Mark on most. I'll be honest with you. If I was a metal detector manufacturer, 3 years would be all I would do too. 5 years of a machine getting thrown on the ground, beat around in the dirt, took underwater. I mean, that's just where I'd be. I know XP runs a 5, but I've had to, you know, I've used that. I've used that. I've got a couple of coils now that got bad batteries in them that got to go back. New coils. So I've got to send them in. They'll replace it, but 5-year warranty can get kind of, you know, that for that type of piece of equipment. I mean, I think 3 years, just my opinion. If I had a company, that's what I would have. Legend, thanks, Mark. Off top, I bought the Legend last year and I absolutely love it. Mikey said he's got one. So, dang, how many comments I got here? Let me get down to the bottom. Great point, Stephen. Let's see here. Calabash for president. Yeah, you guys don't want me president. A good channel, but none is. Well, hey, yeah, there are good channels, you know, and Give Quarter Hoarder, he's got a giant channel over there, man. But his content is really good, you know, and he does a real good job. And I told him the other day on the live stream prior to the live launch, he did a triple score menu layout, you know, how to operate. Man, that was a high quality video. It's one of the best menu videos I've ever seen. So I'm going to copy him, you know. That's how that goes. But it's the best one I ever seen. His channel's great. It really is. It really is. And his hunts, and he explains all that stuff, and it's really good, really good. He puts like, you know, and then I heard him say he was preparing for that live stream, and it took hours, and I can absolutely say I feel his pain. This one, I don't have a lot of stuff in, but next week, if we get the machine and I go to the beach, or the next week, whenever it comes in, I will start acquiring footage, and we'll have a live stream where we show all this. So I'll probably, before I put up videos on it, I'll show this stuff in the live, and we'll have a, you know, a live launch per se of performance, how it does, and all in a live stream. That one, weird guy in the park. I'll let Mark answer that if he's still in here. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he left them, man. He left them. Let's see here. Late to live. Will this compete with the Manicore? Jarrett, we don't know. I don't think it's designed in the price range for that. I think it's going to be $999, in my opinion, is what she said last night, or this is just my opinion. We'll see. Let's see where it comes in at the final release. Yeah, I'm not going to show her. Would be, yes, National Metal Detecting Month. Yep, and we would open up some places, specific places for artifact hunting, metal detecting that, I get that some places need to be protected. I get that. But we would go through the list and we would find out which one is bullcrap and which one is not. And we would open up those places. Again, Xterra Pro, we're sticking to Nokta, possibly the Simplex Ultra. Well, either one of those, I mean, there's pros and cons to both. And if you're going to the beach, I'll just tell you straight up, the Xterra Pro wins. If you're looking for more tone options, the Xterra Pro wins. So that's just my opinion on that. You guys can comment. Xterra Pro actually has a really good audio on it, and it does, for a single frequency machine, it does exceptionally well, and I don't know what the secret sauce is to that. I've heard some conspiracy theories say that the Xterra Pro is running multi-frequency in beach program, and is that true or not? I don't know. So, it's a very interesting market. It's a very exciting time. We'll get to the technical. Oh, and I will be testing a Vanquish 560. And no, Minelab will not be giving me one. I'll have to spend my hard-earned money to get one. So if you guys want to contribute to the channel for a 560, contribute. If not, I'm still getting one. So, that's the deal with that. I don't have any pull with them. I mean, and my thing is this. I know people who have tested for Minelab, and they don't have a 560. That I know of. Maybe they're under NDA, but I'm like, why does not nobody here in America have that? And I want to say this too, and I want to say this for all companies about a live launch again. The one last night that Nokta had, great, lighthearted, just a cool launch. But I want to say this in future generation metal detectors. Whether it's Garrett, XP, Minelab, Nokta, that they do these highly professional videos, and that's great, but we're talking about internet podcast and stuff like that, or the company's podcast. This is a suggestion for all manufacturers. You should have a guy, or guys, or girls, or whatever, whoever's testing for you, and actually show. So let's think about this last night. If Nokta would have had video footage of whoever, whether it's me or whoever, on the saltwater beach with the Legend 1, the Legend 2, and saying, this is the new king of our detector lineup, and I'm just using them because this is the latest and greatest release, and says, well, look at here, guys. Here's an independent tester, Calabash Digger. I'm well known for this stuff. You guys know that. And we show the depth improvement over the Legend 2 over the Legend 1. We show the stability improvement. We show the enhanced audio. We show how the more power translates to actual usage. We show the 99 VDI. This could be a 3, 4, 5 minute video, target in the ground, separation, and kind of jazz it up a little bit. But think, guys, what that does and shows, but coming to all manufacturers, we're kind of in this realm of these manufacturers come out, and all of them do it. I'm not singling any one of them out. All of them, Minelab, Nokta, Garrett, XP, they all do this. They put these marketing videos up, and it builds this like enthusiasm, and I totally get that, but we're getting to this point where social media, your detector is going to get showed, and if you would just show it, because there's also a lot of distrust in the market. Would you guys? Let me back up right here, guys. I'm losing my comments, but would you guys agree with that? There's a lot of distrust in the market. I mean, look at what's happened with this blue machine over here in this corner. And people see that and they'll be skeptical. And, you know, we've seen this and claims of that. And, you know, over the years, it's gotten, you know, the Detectors performance has gotten better in the last past years. But it will, you know, a lot of people set on their money. And I guess the thing about this is, to me, is if you had this shown, you could say, oh, the Legend 2, and I'm just going to use that one, the Legend 2 is 15% deeper or 10% deeper on the saltwater beach. Well, that is a upgrade. Not only is it easier now, you see what I'm saying? But we don't tend to have this in the metal detecting manufacturer community. And I think that, in my mind, it should be done different. Show us, because you guys know, I'm like this, show us, you know. I'm going to flop my money down or get one sent to me either way, but that's not the point. The point is that some people are not going to buy a detector, and it proves the legitimacy of what you're selling. You see what I'm saying, guys? You know, we could start standardizing tests on the saltwater beach. We know that the triple score will hit that 2.5 gold gram ring at 10 to 12 inches on East Coast beaches, Florida beaches, and Gulf Coast beaches. We could start standardizing this type stuff all the way across. And I know that each manufacturer is not going to work together or nothing like that, but we could come up with something. You know what I mean? In kind of like the 12-inch gold ring, 2.5 grams is kind of my standard, but the detectors are getting so good at that ring that I may take that ring and it still be a part of the testing equation, but take also a smaller thin band gold ring, which you tend to find more of, in my opinion, than thick band rings on the beach, and utilize that. But you guys see where I'm going with this. So at detector launch, let's see some actual performance footage. And it doesn't have, and actually, if it's not from somebody that works for the company, it would be even better. You know, because there's certain guidelines, the people that are testers, you know, or in with companies, and or, you know, part of the marketing campaign, they have certain guidelines that they have to follow, and there's certain things they can and can't do. And, you know, you take somebody independent like me or Mike or Iffy Signals, it would really, in my opinion, it would just be a good way to go. What do you guys think about that? I'm rambling on. I got tangled up on that for a minute. I don't think the Legend 2 will beat the Minelab Beast. It lacks the power. We'll see. We'll see how close it is. If it doesn't beat it, we'll see how close it is, and we will tell you what, you know, there's a price range difference there, and we'll tell you, you know, at the end of the day, when it's finalized and all that's all said and done, I will do head-to-head videos, and we will look at it, and we will get down to the nuts and bolts of it. If it's behind, well, it costs less. If it's, you know, we'll see. We'll see. We'll get to all that. We'll get to all that. Sure if you meant Vanquish 540, but the title said, yes, it is their new Vanquish, and I'll show you a picture of it real quick. Let me go back over to Ryan's, and yes, it is the new Vanquish coming from Minelab, and like I said, we will have one. Give me just a minute, and I will, well, I can't scroll on that screen, but let me just put this is the screen, oh Danny boy, this is the screen on the 560 that's coming out in a Pro Pack. 5x8 coil, and then the standard, what did they say the standard coil was? A 12-inch coil on it, I believe it is. The 12X and VX and 12X coils, but this is the actual detector right there. And that is the new Vanquish series that's out, that's waterproof from Minelab. And we were just having a conversation about, I don't have no details on that. I don't have pull with Minelab to get one early. So we will get to that when they get ready. I'm on Ryan's list. I'll get the first one he gets, I would imagine. If not, I'm gonna gripe. so we will be reviewing that. We'll be testing that. We'll look at it. And actually, you know what? We'll actually put that machine against the Vortex and see how that does. You know, the Legend 2. You know, we keep talking about the Manicore. But there's another detector that we really should be talking about, because I got a feeling at the end of the day they're going to be really close in price point. That's just my opinion. And I think that we should be talking about this detector right here. and I think that the Manicore overshadowed this detector. But this detector is a performer too. Is it as deep as the Manicore? No, it lacks a little bit. But is it deeper than the Equinox 800? Oh yeah, it's deeper than the Equinox 800. Does it beat the Equinox 800 on the beach? Oh yeah, it beats the Equinox. Is it more stable than the Equinox 800? Oh yeah, and I think that when it's all said and done, let me get over here with that thing off my head. When it's all said and done, that Legend, this is just my opinion, just kind of my feel. We'll see. Even if the Legend's more and it be, however, but I think that this detector gets overlooked a lot, and that's the Equinox 900 because the Manicore overshadowed it. But look at what's happened. Manicore 1200, Equinox 900, basically a Pro Pack with 2 coils, wireless headphones, $899. So that's something that we will have to look at, dissect, test, and see what's going on, guys. So we will see how it all works out in the wash, and we'll have videos up, and you guys stay tuned for that. So do I got anybody left in here? I've been kind of just sidewinding all night, so I look forward to the next live that I do, because I'm going to have actual footage of the machine, and I know, guys, that's why I like to do that, but I did want to come in here and tell you guys that I would have the machine early, and possibly next week. And what's going on, Bass Chaser? And possibly has a sandwich wing. Pastry, yeah. Pastry, he's a great guy, nice guy. Do I agree with all the way he did? No, I don't. But he's a nice guy. Nice guy. That big name channels to be cheerleaders. They know that these testers won't give him. I totally get that, finders keepers. It's a business. I mean, look, I'm not gonna knock them. You know what I mean? If I ran a business and I had people that were on my payroll, or something worked out with them, or whatever it is, yeah, there'd be some kind of agreement too. I mean, I totally get it. It's business. But see, here's one thing that you guys know about me. I have kept myself free from making money off metal detectors, right? Right. You see Ryan up there? He pays a flat fee for being advertised on my channel. And I don't mind telling you, he gets a year for a certain amount. If he sells one detector, or if he sells 40,000 detectors, that's on him. So I'm not sitting here motivated to tell you, well, he sells them all anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I'm not sitting here motivated to tell you to buy one particular brand of detector. I am here to provide you information and tell you that Ryan is the best dealer I know of and pays for return shipping. And who does that? 60-day money-back guarantee. Yeah, that's a sales pitch for Ryan, because that is something that should be pitched for a manufacturer, because we don't see that. And the guy will get on the phone and take his time to help you. So, with that being said, I have no motivation. I've kept myself free from that, and it's worked out great. Like I said, I got an ad spot right there for a dealer. He called me, we talked, and I was like, and we thought about it, and I talked to him a few times, and I was like, this guy seems like a great guy. And it's worked out for 2 years now, and everybody that I know that's bought something from him through my recommendation has 0 complaints. And any problems arose, he fixed it for them. So, with that being said, let's back up right here. When someone comes out with a detector, they actually show an image of what's under the coil, they have the market. Yeah, you know what, Stephen? I don't want it to get so far like I was saying, an AI detector. Dig, don't dig. I do like to put a little bit of effort analyzing, you know what I mean? So where will it stop? Who knows? Them guys have a very good channel, but you are the best teacher. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. Ever since my account got removed from Nokta Facebook from because I could, well, listen, I'm not picking on Nokta. I'm going to tell you it's all of them. So I was putting out videos on the blue machine over here that were negative, but they're all, you guys seen them. They went back and they updated them. What happens? You would see that get put on the Facebook page, and whew, it was disappeared, right? So I got a little thing on the intro of this, and what did it say? It said, if you want the real deal, and I'm not knocking companies' Facebook pages. It's a great place to find out how to share finds in a hangout. But if you want the cons of a metal detector, you're not going to get it on any company's Facebook page. Why? They are censored. And that's all of them. XPs, Minelab, Noktas, and Garrett's. And I don't know if Fisher has one, but they are censored. And I understand that too. They don't want no trolls, and I get all that. But that's why this independent testing and not being tied to money for metal detector sales has kept me free from all that. So we get the real deal over here. You guys know it, man. I mean, come on. You guys know it. Even the haters know it. We got haters in here right now, man. Hey, I got 106 people in here. Well, I only got 43 likes. You getting information? Give me a thumbs up, man. It ain't going to hurt you to hit the like button. It'll be all right. You ain't got to tell nobody you like Calabash Digger. Stay with what I know and have for detectors. Yeah, but don't let that... Look, Danny, yeah, I get all of that, the distrust part, but it all comes out in the wash. It doesn't stay that way forever. Let's just rehash, and let's just rehash this blue detector. I think this is worth doing. So I'm pretty good at reading stuff. What happened with this detector when it come out? Oh, look, notice my hand. It's covering the screen. What was rule number 1 when this detector come out and the testers had it? They couldn't show you the screen. My first instinct was, why? Why can you not show me the screen? Well, when we got it after public release, we know why, right? We went through all of that. But we'll just rehash it. You couldn't hear it. Let me put my hand over the speaker. You couldn't see the screen. You couldn't hear it. And what was Digger Dawn doing? I dug a big old coin out of my yard. And what she do on Facebook, I made a video. Calabash Digger sucks. Ain't that what she said? Well, how did that all come out? It all come out in the wash, right? So I had distrust because I seen things that didn't add up. You should be able to show a metal detector and how it sounds when a tester has it and showing it on video. Well, that right there is like, whoa, wait a minute. Something ain't right about that. You know, it sent my distrust off. Well, it all come out in the wash, though, didn't it? Didn't we show the, things on this channel and other channels showed it and talked about it? And Garrett has made an attempt to correct it. But it goes back to what Digging Daryl asked me earlier. Do manufacturers contact you before they make a detector? And the answer to that is no. They always contact me and others that I know after they've designed it, after the concept, and they got it to a prototype thing. They didn't ask for any information or feedback or anything that would make it better. And I'm sure that some of them are collecting. Delic said they were collecting data going from the Legend 1 to Legend 2. I get all that. But this company right here, if they had contacted me, I could have saved them so much problems with this right here. First of all, I said, you can't release this detector with the frequencies that you're running. It's got to go higher. Second, I would have said you got to do something with about all of this right here. It's got to be more modern. It's got to be more intuitive. It's got to be able to save the discrimination and notch, which it still can't do a year later, even though it saves every other setting in each individual program at power off. But the whole point is yes, I get the distrust part. But in this day and age, it will come out. If you release a turd, it will be revealed as a turd. If you release a good product, the good product will talk for itself. Right? I can show you the test and the good product does what? It talks for itself. So this will be the same process that I've evolved in my process of testing and reviewing and checking metal detectors. I'm kind of getting away from the on top of ground iron test, even though I will do a few with the Legend 2 just because it gives the folks a visual. I have set up testing parameters in my test garden of in-ground iron testing. I like that a lot better. I've got a couple of really super tough tests that I like to do with the metal detector, and I think this tells a lot about iron unmasking. When you get a detector, you put a non-ferrous target here in the ground, 5 or 6 inches, and you lay ferrous object around this thing. Not like a block test where it's like this high or whatever, but up here on the thing. And you see which detector can do it. And it's very telling The best unmasking detectors by the consensus of people in the metal detector community always do better on that test. Why? Because it has more see-through power. So some detectors can't pass that test. The Vortex stinks on it. You guys seen me show the Equinox 900 versus the Vortex the other day. I could swing the Equinox 900 fast as I could, and it would hit it. What did the Vortex do? Nail, zick, non-ferrous target, zick, silence. Granny swing, nothing. And that is a big deal because that mimics or replicates iron unmasking when you're out in the field. Not to get too technical, but it replicates the iron unmasking that we experience in the field. All targets, there's different iron levels. There's close iron levels with a nail. So when you see these board tests, I've seen a manufacturer, marketing man, do a board test with that detector the other day. That means basically it's good for like how the coins ID, but it means absolutely nothing when you think about real world detecting, and iron is on different levels. So my process has evolved over the years in what I want to do, and especially now the beach is such a big deal in metal detectors. I'm going to start really taking that process even further too. I've got sticks that gives us depths, you know, that there's no skew in the depths. There's no saying, well, that ring was at 12 inches when it was really at 5 inches. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to do that on the beach with the sand caving in and the wet, you know, soup and all that stuff. So we're going to run them through it. Anyway, I got off on a tangent about that. So sorry about that, guys. The distrust will get exposed. I mean, not the distrust. If you make a bad product, it's going to get exposed. It's just not going to stand in this day and time with social media. And it was a good machine that paid for itself 10 times over, but I needed a better detector. Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, Mike, in the live about people getting into the hobby. So that's a prime example of what Mikey just said right there. He had a Vanquish 440, and what would have happened if you'd have, you know, just for instance, hypothetical, if he had started with another detector and just used the presets, he wouldn't have had to buy another. Well, you know what I'm saying, but it's like this stuff about all these models that we were talking about earlier, and there being too many models. My suggestion is for somebody that's watching my channel, if you're beginning, think about how you are in the hobby, what your budget is, and around that $479, $499 range, like with a triple score, is a very good place to start because number one, turn it on, use a preset program. Number two, when you get ready to grow, if you want to grow or if you don't, you can use preset programs till the cows come home. But you have the option, and like what Mikey just said right there, he didn't have the option to grow because the 440 really don't have any, you know, to tweak settings on. Iron is scattered everywhere. They want to sell it, then work out, and I don't like that either. I don't like that, Swampy, and let's hit on that real quick if we still got some people in here. I don't like this trend, and with this right here particularly, look, man, I have let me get up right here, guys, and I'll be right back, but I have an excellent relationship with this company, or did have. Maybe this Coil right here ruined my relationship with this company because I spoke out publicly, and I'm going to do it again. This goes back into what Swampy said. This Coil come out with a beta version, and it took a while. They finally got it to a point probably where I think that it should have been released and what it should have been when it hit the market. But it's still, if you look at through this 100 and something comments, how many comments we got in here? I don't know how many comments we got. 257 comments. You're going to see people talking about this Coil and the problems that it still has with the VDI. So, but people paid their hard-earned money to this, and basically, you know, I got sent these coils. I got sent multiple coils because one got lost, and long story short, I had multiple versions. I have one version of this coil. It's strong suit to me, in my opinion. I don't gold nugget shoot, but I know that it has a very strong suit there. It's probably the best gold nugget shooting coil now, according to Relics and Rings out there, or Carson Chris. It's very competitive with the Manicore, and probably better according to what they said. But that's beside the point. The point is it was released, and basically people were test guinea pigs. And we've seen this with the Vortex. We seen this with the Legend, but we seen this with the Legend 1. The Legend 1 had very few bugs. It had a few, and we found them. But my main deal with that was when all the ruckus got started. You guys that have been around for a while know that. But we all play nice now. We've got good relationships. Was that it didn't have certain features that other detectors had, much like what I criticized Garrett for. Well, what did Nokta do? They got busy. How many that machine has been updated, and they brought it forward to where it needed to be. So I don't think the Legend 2 is going to be like that. I hope and pray that it's not. I don't think it is. I don't think we're going to run into that where the public is the thing. But that's just me speaking with my opinion and what I think. I think that Nokta knows better than to do that. I think that other companies should follow suit and not be using the public as test guinea pigs. Because I'll hear this argument. Well, Calabash, all the phone companies did. No, man, look, Apple ain't sold me an iPhone and had me developing it, you know, because some of this stuff like the Vortex wouldn't even ID silver coins. It was locking up. I mean, you remember all this horrendous stuff. The white coil leaking, the updates that were applied to it, you know, I just didn't like that. I don't like that process. But anyway, let me get off of that. I want machines being closer. Yes, are there going to be bugs and software or things like that? Yes, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about releasing something that's, in my judgment, not ready for prime time. You know what I mean? Can't trust anything blue. Oh, man. If the Legend 2 is a real solid VDI, it will be very... Yes, it will. I want to see how the Legend 2's ID is at depth. And that is one of the things in the past that I've told them that I felt like needed improvement is their ID, even in my mild soil, at depth compared to the other two major manufacturers in the world. So the 60 series offers everything I wish the 40 series would have had, being rechargeable and waterproof. But this late in the game, Cletus, in the price range, would you not just be better off buying a Minelab Elite? I mean, if we're talking $70, $80, you would be better off to buy a Minelab Elite. Why? Because it has the room for you. If you're bound and determined to be in a Minelab product, which Minelab, you know, has its following, Nokta has its following, XP has its following. And like you guys know that have been here, we use them and test them all. So if you're going to stay in that, you know, bound and determined, you're going to stay Minelab, then why not just buy an Elite? It has more features. It has tone options. It has iron bias settings in it. It has recovery speed adjustments. And the 60 series don't have that, according to what I read, unless I missed something. I am overwhelmed. I can't keep buying metal detectors. There'd be enough change to make it. I have a Manicore and an XP Deus too. Well, then, Thomas, you may be okay right now. You know, but see, there's guys like me. And even if the 900, I had a 900. I knew it wasn't going to beat the Manicore, but I had one because I'm just one of those guys that just has to know. But you guys are lucky. I could spend my money or get one sent to me, not from Minelab. I can spend my money, and you guys get to see the results, and you don't have to spend your money. So you guys are lucky. Even the MX Sport had, no, don't say it. He didn't just say that. He didn't just say that. That's worse than saying something about the hair bow in my dog's hair. Oh, is what the 540 should have been 5 years ago. Perfect comfortable machine to swing on the beats. Is it mounted on the shaft? I hate straight shaft. Yeah, what it should have been, Bass Chaser. So where are we at now? 60 will compete with it. I don't believe it. I don't. Maybe it's close. You know what I mean? Because it's technology trickling down. But at the end of the day, those tone options mean something to me. If I was coin hunting with the Elite, I would want all tones. If I am relic hunting or if I am beach hunting with the Elite, I want depth audio theme. And you know, some people might want two tones, and this all differs, but at least you have it there to choose. When you buy that 60 series, looks like you're locked. And I just don't care for that. Especially with the price point, I don't know. I just know I seen it was listed for, in the video they did, I think the guy said 499 euros. But, you know, that's not going to be much price difference if you translate that to US dollars. And we'll see how it all plays out. Looks like upgrades, are they just redesigning the control? But I don't know. 900, that's it. That right there is going to be the battle of the ages, right there. 900 versus Legend 2. Small gold, depth on the beach, depth on land, iron unmasking. That's enhanced audio. They added the 3 tones to the Legend, but that's going to be the place to start. And we can judge, because like with the 900, it's behind the Deus 2 and the Manicore a little bit. So I would expect if the Legend 2 in that price range would be behind the Manicore and the Deus 2 a little bit. But, like I said, let's keep our eye on Nokta in the upcoming year or 2 years from now and see what happens. They move pretty fast, so let's hope next year and see what happens as far as, you know, different stuff. Who knows, but it's just a little less than the Eagle 600. Wow, the 560, if it will be the software of the 600, 800, just saying. It could be. I don't know. I don't know, Dwayne. No news on the PI machine yet, so. Okay, here's Brassmatic, man. There's my buddy, man. What's going on? If the user interface is superb and simply practicing, you would think that any new machine for me. Yeah, if you're going to get in the high-end market, that is the bar set by Minelab. And Brassmatic is right. I mean, about the screen on the Manicore. Let me find my Manicore and see if we can get it turned on. I'm sure everybody in here knows what the Manicore screen looks like, but I don't know if I can get it to focus, but let's just check it out. Let's see if we can get it to focus. This design, well, we're going to have to cut it down, Brassmatic. I know that. Oh my gosh, what is all this noise? We're going to cut all that down. We're going to cut the screen brightness down too. You guys give me just a second. But, I mean, it's like you can navigate this thing really easy. Recovery speed, discrimination pattern. You guys can't see that, can you? There ain't no way. That's all blurred out. Hold on, guys. Let me go up here and go into the general settings. Let's go down here to the lighting. Let's see if that thing comes in now. Oh, man, I got light reflecting off of it. It's not going to work, but this is the best screen layout that there is, man. I mean, I can do it from there. It's all set in a line. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Come on, baby. Focus for me. There we go. You see how all that works? And then there's, see the side arrows, how it goes into different. That is the best in the market today. Nothing matches that menu layout. It is easy and it's very, what I call, intuitive. So, with that being said, Brassmatic is absolutely right about that. What's up, Van? West Coast Detector, I think the 900 will be very close. That's what we got to see, because I mean that's right in the same price range. So we'll start there. That'll be the starting point. Well, actually, the starting point will be Legend 1 for all the Nokta fans versus Legend 2. That's the starting point, because I did agree with them that I would not show it head to head with other manufacturers until the final, basically the final version was released. So you guys we'll have to wait on that, but we'll start with Legend 1 versus Legend 2, and that will give all the Legend fans that want to upgrade, they'll know what they're getting for their money when they upgrade from Legend 1 to Legend 2. So let's see here. He did. I don't know, Finders Keeper. I've lost it. I don't know what you're talking about there, Tim. Why can't Nokta colorize the software? Just I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe on their next generation detectors, I don't know. Colored machines, they're nice. It doesn't matter to me, but I know that some guys like that. I'm more of an audio. I'm more of an audio guy. I'm more of an audio snob. I would rather have great audio and a big just VDI number. I'm very simple when it comes to what I want on the screen and analyzing, but I know that they're like Musini. I know that there's people who like to look at the screen, analyze, and they like the graphs, like on the 2D graph on that, and I get all that. So I don't know the answer to that, but the Manicore screen is the prettiest in the market too, as far as looking at it. Positive Blue machine, and then bought 2 DS2s from Ryan since one black going with the white. He was great to work with. I appreciate his review for him, Zach. So let's look right here. I have great hopes for the Vanquish 5 because when I had the 540, I wished it was waterproof. Yeah, five-tone machine as long as the VDI is on point. I got you. I'm just picky about that. And see, that works for you, but it doesn't for me. And that's something I have to remember as a reviewer, and try to keep the information unbiased, because I'm a little biased towards a machine that just has 5 tones. I'm just like, yeah, you know what I mean? But like Bass Chaser said, I'm fine with 5 tones. That's good for me. I just want a stable VDI. I'm a Vanquish fan, and I'm sure it will perform solidly. I mean, look at the Vanquish. Minelab's not going to go backwards on performance. We know that. There's going to be improvements. Interwebs, before the interwebs think about all the glitches that went undetected, no pun. Why a new Vanquish 5C and not an Xterra Elite with more fixed frequencies and multitude? All they do is work on the software. I don't know, Lucky Strike. That's kind of where I was at in the beginning of this show. Like, we're getting analysis paralysis on all these detectors. Show some love and hit the like. Yeah, we've had a few people in here tonight. I will announce when I get the Legend 2. I'll do a live. I'll do it days before we do it, and I'll put up a little trailer video and say, hey, I actually got it. And then when you guys want to come in, and it should be next week, I'm hoping, okay? I hope that next weekend I'll have footage to show. But just ASAP, that you will be getting Legend 2 information here first on performance and how it stacks up, and what it does for the money that it cost. And I'll be testing it for bugs, and there may be a limited amount I can show, but I'll carry it to the beat. First starting out, we'll see. We got to go through it first and see what the deal is. But I hope to be able to show you footage next week of the actual performance of the machine. If it gets shipped to me, I'm not in control of that. I just know that I will be one of the first. I will be in the first crew. There's 2 testers in the United States that are getting it. Me and my buddy. You know who it is. So you have a website or forum? No, Jason. I just run on YouTube. I tried all of that, and to be honest with you, it was just overwhelming to me. I do a little bit of Instagram posting here and there, and that's about it. I don't have all that other stuff going on. I would have loved to have done a website, but it just turned out with what I have going on in life, it just wasn't feasible for me, and it was costing me. It actually was costing me. I had a lot of people come in and support me, but my time, man, is very. When you start testing these metal detectors, a lot of people don't realize, but a lot of you do. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to test metal detectors and make decent videos and edit and all that stuff. I don't know what Mark's talking about. We can, like we did on the event, because of sunlight, it drowns it out. That's interesting. Shameless plug. I don't know what Stephen did. So he must have got a plug. Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it, JDPGHPA. I appreciate it a lot, man. I'm not going to stay on here much longer. You guys have hung out with me, and the blue one from Garrett will give many. Yeah, well, that's true. It's I don't know, man. That's just in my opinion, shouldn't have been. So we'll leave it at that. They Vanquish software in a waterproof housing. The Vanquish had 3 tones. I'm sure that these 4 will be good. Detector did great. I'm sure it'll be a great detector. Just the feature in this day and age. And when the Vanquish series first come out, this is just my opinion and my take. When it first come out, dude, I was like amazed at what it cost and what it could do. But now I'm like, okay, all these other detectors, even their own line, the Xterra Pro, has all these tone options. I'm like, dude, at least they put 5 tones on it and pitch or something, or depth, depth audio and 5 tones. Just saying. It looks like crap, tastes like crap, mostly likely it's crap. I used it for 2 years. Simplex has found a lot of good stuff. Good bang for the buck, but just to be honest with you, any manufacturer. I like the multi-frequency in the way that it's trickled down the line and the technology. Because here's the deal. If you do go on vacation to the beach, guess what does really good on the beach? Multi-frequency. And so when I'm basically, recommending detectors in 2025, my recommendation is multi-frequency. Now, if your budget doesn't allow you to do that, I totally understand that. But, I mean, we're getting down with there's detectors that are really low that are coming in multi-frequency that you can actually use on the saltwater beach. I only hunt the beach. Oh, yeah. Well, so let me ask you this, Brian. What have you switched to since you hunt the beach? Since you switched from the Simplex, what have you switched to? What kind of machine are you swinging now? Okay. Let's see. Are you digging it? Metal detecting. Let's put it up on the screen. Just back from Detectable, met with the Nokta team. They look it's wonderful and very passionate about Nokta. The machine itself looks awesome. It comes with the 2 coils, a launch and ace, and t-shirt called a shirt. Are you digging it? Did you get to see it in action? Did she let any testing get done with it, or was it basically just a reveal? If you got time to answer that, that would be great. It's been a while since I was. Oh, BK, man, what's up, man? I take BK to one of my hammered out sites. He found a very old rare coin, and I didn't find jack. It's been a while since I was with. He was testing, comparing. I know. Hey, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it, BK. We're gonna have to get together some, man. It's been a couple of years since we've been together, but BK was actually with me when I was testing the Deus 2. And let me just share you guys this right here real quick. Me and BK stumbled across something that is called silent EMI. And I had heard Tom Dankowski talk about it. Me and BK was on a site and got a signal. I don't know if it was him that got the signal or me that got the signal, but I checked it. Maybe it was him. And he had an Equinox 800. And I had the Deus 2, and I walked over. The Equinox just is knocking. Ding dong, ding dong, dong. I mean, it's just like it's knocking, no doubt about it. Swing the Deus over, and it whiffs on it. And I'm like, man, what has happened here? What is this? I've depth tested the Deus 2. I've took it to the beach. I know it's deeper than the Equinox. I'm like, what is going on here? Well, BK backs off of me about 20 feet. Deus 2 is still whiffing on the button. And it actually turned out to be a flat button from the 1800s. And about 6-7 inches deep. Nothing, in between the iron. I mean, it was not masked or nothing like that. And BK starts flipping through the knocks. And I hear, ba-doop, in the Deus 2. And then it goes, beep, 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 beep. And what had happened there is the frequency on the Equinox had tied the Deus 2 up, but you could not hear it audibly. And that is silent EMI. And there is such a thing as silent EMI. And Dankowski, that NASA Tom, he's in with Minelab, actually when he's on the beach, he actually noise cancels his machine ever just so often for the heck of it, because he knows that there's a thing called silent EMI. And I don't like to think about that too much because it'll give you the doubts, but it is real. I've seen it. Me and BK seen it. I mean, I've seen it. You could not hear it audibly, but it locked the machine. It took the performance. But when that channel canceled and it got off of those, whatever frequency was interfering, the machine went right back to work. I didn't noise cancel the Deus. He noise canceled, I believe, I think that's how it went, or I know it's, either way, when it changed channels on whichever detector, it popped in the headphones, and I did, Trevor. I got it fixed, and I don't know what caused it to die. They would not send me one early. They said, Calabash, we here at Minelab show you no favoritism. We don't trust you. You got to send it in first. They're a publicly traded company. They got guidelines, so they might not can do that. Like Nokta would have sent me the doggone control head, but it got took care of. Ryan actually took care of it. Brass Medic, there's Tom myself talking to you, man. Me too, when I went from H250, I was amazed. Love the machine. I have the Legend now, but still have my good old trusty Simplex. Yeah. How do you like the Legend, Cody? I was thinking about picking one up. Cody, Yeah, tell him, Cody, how you like the Legend, man. He's done real good with it. He's done real good with it. Huge difference between much better. There you go. And you can use the Legend on the beach or the triple score on the beach. That's what I was talking about, versatility. Let me kick on down through here. I don't know how many comments I got, but we'll get to the end of it, and I'll probably end the live here in just a few minutes. We're hour and 40. Let's see. Wait for testing. I'm more likely to pick up a Legend too. Well, we're going to get to that. We'll give you the real deal on it too, Brian. Let's see right here. Marco, this is the HF2 coil on the DS2. Still unusable for me. Good on small lot gold, but bad on bigger golds with bigger IDs. It's very specific coil and beta version. The sad was the advertisement that this coil was an all-around. I kind of agree with you. Well, I don't kind of. I do, Marco. I don't know about your problem there, but the all-around part, coin hunting, nah. And I told them, I gave the beta version guy a suggestion. I said, look, dude, you guys lower this frequency and put it in the same frequency set, I believe it's 4 and 14 is deep high conductor, and you could have a winner for this coil, because then you could adjust the IDs to where, normalize the IDs to where they could work like the black coils, and then it would ignore modern trash. And I said, well, you would have a killer coin machine here, and a guy told me, said, those frequencies are basically good. And I'm like, okay, ignore it if you want to. But I'm telling you, you know, because here's the deal. On the HF2 coil, they got that EMI mitigation, where on the black coils, a lot of times you can't use deep high conductor because it gets eat up by EMI if you're in a public setting with power lines and stuff around. But it would have worked on an HF2 coil because of the EMI mitigation, and that would have been the best coil, in my opinion, sniper coil made for American coin shooting, silver coins, and modern trash. It would have been bad to the bone, but the frequency set on it's not low enough for that. I think it's, what is it, 29 or whatever it is. Hold out and see how the Legend 2 performs. Let me go down through here and see what's going on. Bring to the table to compete with the... We don't know, Diane to dig. We got to test it and see. And like I said, if you guys are late to join, we will have one, I hope, next week. This channel here will be showing basically early on stuff that nobody else is showing now. I'll plug him because I done said it. If he will have one too, so you guys keep an eye on his channel too. Cletus, let's see here, actually on an Xterra Pro and Elite. Plus I have a 340 too, which is a nice little machine. But the curiosity, yeah, I have it too. I totally understand. Is all this metal detecting really that serious? You can't tell? How many comments? There's 282 comments in here, dude. We're serious about metal detecting here. You know, that's what this channel is about. Now, if you're not knocking you, I totally understand, because not everybody's into the technical aspect or even into the hobby as much as some others are. But there's other channels out there for you. There's other entertainment channels. There's other channels that don't do testing. Yeah, it's a pretty serious deal. Oh, wait a minute. I just paid $1,000 for a metal detector. Yeah, it's pretty doggone serious. Oh, I paid $500 for a metal detector. Yeah, I want to know what it does. How does it stack up? Yeah, it's pretty serious. I take spending my money on something pretty serious. But anyway, I get that there's different attitudes or different looks or the way people, you know, metal detect and the way they think about the hobby. But this right here, for lack of better, you know, this is a hardcore metal detecting channel. I mean, it really is. And that's not for everybody. Some people just want to be entertained, and there's channels out there for that too. So to each his own. Kevin, personally, I feel the Legend is already comparable to 900. I would choose a Legend if it was. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Use the Manicore in the DS2, mostly the Manicore. We didn't see it working. Are very interested in what's coming. There you go. I got you. I totally got you. Yourself put out, and they work great. It was after that video setting up the Manicore on the beach that really got. Hey, I appreciate it. HF2 was smashing flat buttons and iron this weekend. Still not my first coil out of the gate for a new site. That's kind of how I feel about it too. Maybe it's got, you know, nuance and good, but I'm not overwhelmed. You know, I don't know. See, and long story short, let's talk about that just for a second before. First impressions mean a lot. When people's got their wallet in their hand and they're ready to get something, first impressions mean a lot. And that is advice for all manufacturers. You know, sometimes the first impression goes by, the customer gets a bad impression, and he never comes, or she never comes back to look at it again. And the Manicore 2 from Minelab, make a push and release button in the Xterra Pro and Elite. Just one push and start tuning. We're a passionate metal detecting community. Couldn't have said that better myself, Westco Detect. Yeah, you know, and I will say this, and we all have different ideas of what we want to spend, or different, you know, budgets on metal detectors. So what we try to provide here at Calabash Digger Adventures is the best information possible on all price ranges. So if your price range is $100, you know, whatever the Nokta machine is, we try to go all the way from the lowest to the highest. Now, I normally spend more time on the higher end mid-tier machines because, you know, that's where my audience, or the most part of my audience is, and I try to meet them where they are. So, but that's what we do. So if you're spending your money, thank you, Dwayne. Thank you so much, man. If you're spending your money on a metal detector, we try to provide information. Appreciate it a lot, man. Appreciate it a lot. We try to provide that information so you can make a informed purchase. Because here's one thing that, you know, I said in the beginning of this live, all companies' Facebook pages are censored. And I'm not knocking any company's Facebook page, because they're good places to hang out. They're good places to get setting techniques, but they're not good places to get the cons or performance details of a metal detector at the end of the day, because they're censored. You won't get it. If something comes up and it's too negative, it will be censored off any of them. Any of them. Garrett, Nokta, Minelab, XP. It will be gone. So the problem is if a person lands on I'm just going to say XY 2D 4A metal detector forum, and all you're going to hear basically is, I found this, these are my settings, this is the best metal detector ever. And I don't mean that in a bad way. But if you come to this channel where I'm not affiliated or make money off of metal detectors, I can speak out openly and honestly. It's a pile of crap, or, you know, it's a good detector. Here's the pros and the cons, you know. And you can make your own decision, and you can buy any brand. But with that being said, we're going to get ready to close it out. And let me just run through the last few comments. And man, I've been talking for an hour and 47 minutes. Stay tuned. Hopefully in the coming up week, we will have actual footage when my detector gets here from Turkey. The Legend 2, we will have actual, I'm going to go to the beach. We'll have beach footage. We'll have testing footage. We'll have depth test footage. So we can start getting our minds, or, you know, start getting an idea of where this machine stacks up. So let me just, never heard about it anymore. I think it's, you know, honestly, it's a detector of the past for me, because it's single frequency. I like multiple frequency detectors. Man, of course, set up for coin shooting, deep silver coppers. That's a good video, Kevin. I got a feeling I'm going to be a little bit tied up the next few weeks to be doing that. But if I get time, I might try to do something like that. 12 to set on the XP Deus 2 backup machine. There you go, Berkshire. And buy a Manicore. Thomas 5. Hit the like button, folks. I appreciate it, guys. I'm going blue until I watched your channel. And uh-oh, did I end? What happened? Did I drop? Well, I don't know if I dropped or not. A year ago, I was going blue until I watched your channel. I was glad I did. Well, I appreciate it. I want my deep stuff. Yep. Well, hey, you guys, I'm out of here. Stay tuned for information. If the Vanquish comes before the Legend 2, I'll have that, and we'll be showing that. And we'll do some comparisons. We'll see where the Vanquish sets, and maybe I can get something in its price range. Oh, I got a triple score here, so we'll see how all of it ties in together. We'll look at features. coins. I will send you a few for your good lessons. Hey, I appreciate it, Lucky Strike. I appreciate it a lot. So you guys have a great night. I am out of here. So let me see if I can remember. It's been so long since I've done a live. I couldn't even remember where the finish button is. But you guys have a great night. Thanks a lot.